Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Bot Basics Kit. So in this video, what I want to do is show you how to use the buzzer. So the buzzer is going to be, if you look at the bottom right there, it's this cylindrical component. It's got two legs on it, and it is called a piezo buzzer. And let me talk about that a little bit. So if you look at the screen here, we'll go ahead and draw our little cylinder. Looks like this. Okay, two legs. All right. Now the first thing I want to bring your attention to, if you look closely at the top of the buzzer, one of them has a plus on it. All right. So that means, and when I say one of them, is that there's a plus that is on top, directly labeled on top of where the buzzer is, where the black part of the buzzer is, and it's on top of a leg. So that leg, it corresponds to the plus sign, is the plus leg, and the other one is the minus. Okay, so just like the LED lights and also the servo motor, you need a plus and a minus, or a power in the ground. All right, so minus is the same as G and D, and the plus is the same as power. I'll use PWR for power, and we're gonna ultimately connect the power to another pin, or what I like to call is a nerve on the controller, which is the robot's brain right here, the blue Uno. Okay, and then that nerve is going to be able to turn our buzzer on and off by either turning on the power or turning off the power. Now a little bit more about this. Now this buzzer here, this piezo buzzer, can create a bunch of different tones. Now, what's a tone? So just a real quick introduction on tones and music. All right, I need to talk about notes. All right, so let's write the word notes. Okay, so what are notes? Well, notes are in music. So if you want to sing a song, let's say, and if you sing the same exact note, like ba 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 ba, it's not very interesting. It's the same note, it's the same sound, but if you change the notes, then you can create different patterns, and that becomes music. Like instead of ba ba ba, it became like ba ba ba. Then it's a little bit more interesting. Okay, so ba and ba, those two are different notes. And so let's say that we said notes together, it makes music. Okay, all right, so different notes make music. Now the other thing that we need to know is, like, well, how are notes created? Well, notes are the same as tone. Okay, so our buzzer here, all right, I know we're talking about piezo buzzer, so let's say piezo buzzer, so we know what we're talking about here. Okay, the piezo buzzer can create different tones. I'll put tones, which are the same as notes, which then make music. Now, how are tones created? We need another word here. Frequency. Use frequencies for many frequencies. Okay, so what's a frequency? A frequency is how fast something goes back and forth. Okay, so if we think about it in just our everyday life, you could think of it like this. How often do you go to the grocery store? Okay, so if you go there all the time, so let's say I go there every day, then you would say I go there at a medium frequency, meaning like I go back and forth to the store like medium, like every day. I guess it's kind of a lot, but not super a lot. Okay, but if let's say you go to the grocery store only once a month, once every 30 days or so, you could say I go to the grocery store at a low frequency. So I go back and forth to the grocery store, but not that often. So it's like a low frequency. Okay, what would be a high frequency? So if I asked you, how often do you go to the grocery store? And you said, I go 10 times a day. Like in one single day, you go back and forth to the grocery store 10 times. So that would be a high frequency. Okay? So it's how frequency is how fast something goes back and forth. Another way to think about it, look at this pen. It's going up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? So this would be, let's say, medium frequency, back and forth. This would be low frequency. This is like super slow, going back and forth. And then high frequency would be like this, super fast, super fast. Okay? Now, what does this have to do with tones? Well, inside the piezo buzzer, there are some mechanical components that vibrate back and forth whenever you send it power. Okay? So what your brain's going to be doing is actually changing the power frequency. So the power, if you go on, off, on, off, on, off, so the nerve's going to be sending power to your piezo buzzer, but if it goes on for a little bit, off for a little bit, on a little bit, off a little bit. So if it does it at like medium frequency, then it's going to make a certain sound. If it goes high frequency, it's going to make a different sound. If it does a low frequency, like on, off, it's going to actually be a low or another frequency. And I just kind of gave you a hint there. High frequency, on, off, on, off, on, off really fast would be a high note, like that. And the low frequency, where it's on, off really low, would be a really low note. All right, so that's a little introduction on music and frequencies and tones or notes. All right, so let's go ahead and see how we're gonna wire this thing. I'm gonna move my board up a little bit here. I think I have some room here. Okay, so we still have our Uno. Okay. We are going to use, let's see what I have left here. Oh, 6 is still available. So I'm going to use nerve number 6 or pin number 6. And we're going to connect that. Draw my buzzer here. We're going to connect the 6 to the plus pin of the buzzer. And then the minus, let's put plus and minus on the pin as well, just so we're not confused. The minus is going to go to G and D. Okay? So pin 6 is going to make the different tones, off and off on. So let's go ahead and make those connections here. Okay, so now that we're ready for wiring, one thing we need to consider is this. We don't have enough GNDs on the Uno board. So we use 3 GNDs for the 3 lights, okay? And then we also use the secret GND here, this white wire, for the servo motor. There's no more additional GNDs. You could add extra GNDs with a breadboard, but that's not in this kit. If you do have a breadboard, or if you have another kit available, we could do that. But for this, we don't want to go into that whole breadboard world quite yet. So we're just gonna make a choice. I'm gonna take off my yellow light. Okay, so I have all my 3 lights on right now. I'm gonna take off the GND on my yellow light and use it for my buzzer. You can maybe choose a different light that you want to sacrifice, but I'm making the engineering decision now. I'm just gonna get rid of the red light, or sorry, the yellow light. I still have a red and a green, and I still have a fence or a gate. That's cool. And I'm gonna add my buzzer. So I'm gonna take out the connections for my yellow light. So once I do that, here's my yellow light here. And I have code right now that turns on the 3 lights. That's why they're on. If your code doesn't have your 3 lights on, they won't be on. But I have it on so I can check out, see what's going on here. So I'm gonna disconnect my yellow lights, and you know what? I'm just gonna take out the power. So I have a green wire connected to the power or the plus wire of the yellow light. So I'm just gonna take that out, and the yellow light should turn off. There, turned off. And I'm gonna hold on to this. Okay, and actually I just realized, no, I don't want to take the power off. I want to take off the GND because I need the GND. So I'm gonna put this back to the power. There we go. little mistakes here and there. That's okay. I want to take off the G and D of the yellow light. So I have a yellow wire, and you might have different connections, different colors than me right now. But as long as you take out the one that's connected to the black wire here of the light. Okay, my yellow light turned off. So this is going to be the minus. This is G and D, right? So I just took out from the black wire here. So the G and D, if I look at my wiring diagram in the top right, G and D goes to the minus. So if I take a look at my buzzer here, this is the plus. So that means this is the plus leg. I want to connect it to the minus leg, which is the other one. There we go. Just stick it in there. Cool. All right. And then now this plus leg needs to connect to pin number 6. Let me zoom in here just so you can see my diagram there. So I'm going to use, let's go with, I have a purple one available. So let's put it onto the plus leg. Okay, and then go to number 6. Okay, move our wires, find 6. Right there. Make sure it matches up. Cool. I know we got a lot of wires here. Oh, and then my gate fell off, of course. Let's just put that back on there. Okay. Okay, I'll just put it out of the way for now. Okay. All right, so we have number 6. Cool, let's do some coding here. All right, let's go to our coding site. All right, let's change my screen. Here we go. All right, so I have my three lights on right now. That's fine. I'm just gonna get rid of, I think 4, because I took it out anyways, right? Let's upload this just to check. Cool. Okay, so I still have my red light and my green light working here. All right, let's go ahead and try the buzzer. So we go to sounds and we see tone here. Okay, I'm talking about tones. Let's throw this in here. Okay, now I'm gonna say, what pin number do we need? Well, we connect it to a buzzer, the buzzer to number 6, nerve number 6 or pin number 6. That would be 6. Now the frequency, remember I was mentioning that every frequency creates a different note. So what number do I put here? Well, there's 440. The units for frequency is hertz, so this is 440 hertz. Now what that means is that the power on pin 6 will be turned off and on 440 times in 1 second. So it sounds pretty fast, but it's just, you know, the computer brain can turn off and on really fast. So, but that's what hertz means, 440 times in 1 second. Okay, 440 hertz. So how do I make music though, right? So let's go to this page here. Okay, and I want to bring your attention to this. If you look here, we have a chart that says note and then frequency. Okay, and let's find 440. So if you look here, 440 is A4. Okay, so that means if you do any music, or if you haven't, you can look it up, that within the alphabet of music there are 7 notes. It starts from C and it goes it's a C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So that's 7. Okay, now you see these sharps, the C sharp, D sharp, D flat. Those are the half steps or half note or half steps in between the letters, but we're going to ignore that for now. If you want to learn more about those, the sharps and the flats, you can do that by just Googling you know, music notes. For now, we're going to ignore that. So we're looking at the 7 letters of music, and I want you to notice that I have there's C4 here, but then there's also C5 here. What is that? That is an octave, okay? So the 7 letters in the music repeat over and over again. So you have C4, and then it repeats again, so it goes up. If you notice, the numbers go up, 261, 277, all the way 493, and then it goes up, keeps going up. It says 523 here, but 523 is also a C, okay? So what that means is that you have a lower C here, and then a higher C, and it keeps going and going and going, okay? So that's my little quick intro on music. So let's go ahead and try to play something. All right, so let's see, A4 is 440. Let's just use A4, and which is 440, and play something. Let's upload and see what happens. Okay, there we go. Do you hear it? That's the A4 sound. Kind of loud, I know. Let's turn it off. How do we turn it off? We can move this out. And no longer any sounds, okay? Let's go back here, 440. Let's go 880. What's 880? It's A5. So it's going to be the same tone, but higher, okay? So it's going to be the same note, but higher. So not necessarily the same tone, but same note, but higher. So let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to put this back here, 880. Yeah, you hear that? So we can, now what if we wanted to do it together? How does that work? So let me first turn this off. So I want you to notice that it's the same note, but one's low and one's high. But they're playing separately, right? So it's harder to tell. So let's do this. I'm gonna put this here, this back. Then I'm gonna do a wait. Wait 1 second. And then I'm going to put another tone for 440. And then I'm going to do another wait. Okay? Let's see what that sounds like. So we just went with high and high A and a low A. Sounds like maybe some kind of siren or something like that, right? Okay, let's move this away. Now you might be thinking, "Man, that sounds kind of annoying. Like who would want that sound?" Well, because right now our tones are super simple. It's just 2 notes going off, changing. But this buzzer here is a type of buzzer used in old school Nintendo games, where so you can actually play like Super Mario Brothers, the song, using this buzzer, and it sounds pretty cool. Okay, so I'll give you a link. I'm gonna add the link to this, but if you follow along, you'll see that right here we have different links here with the notes for these different songs, like Twinkle Twinkle, Happy Birthday. Super Mario Brothers is a harder one. I wouldn't try that right away, but I just want you to know kind of what you could do with this buzzer. Okay. Now let's go ahead and make a simple song. So I'm gonna put this here, put this back in, and let's make a song. Okay. So my song is going to be BAG. Okay, it's a nursery rhyme, so I just want to see if you can figure out what that is. But BAG, and let's use the 4 octave, which is the column right here. So B is 493, right? So let's go here and do 493, and then A4 is 440. I already have that. Cool. And I'm running out of room here. I'm going to do just as I'm here, I'm going to show you a little trick. If you right click here, you can say inline inputs. and it just shrinks it down. Inline inputs, there. There's a little more room, right? And then let's go ahead and duplicate this. I'm going to right click and duplicate. Saves us some time. The last one's going to be G4 392. And then let's make sure we put another wait here. Okay, because that tells us we want to wait. We want to play this G for 3 seconds. Oh, sorry, 1 second too before we loop back. Let's upload. I want you to listen carefully. Can you name that tune? Okay. I'm going to move it away. So you might recognize it already. I won't quite tell you. I'm going to add something else. So right now, and then maybe you could, if you're not sure what it is, maybe after I add this, it will help you figure it out. So right now it goes da 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 da. Okay, but when you actually sing the song, it goes da da da, meaning it stops and then plays the next note. So it goes da, stops, then plays the next note, da, and so forth. So we have to add a no tone to turn it off. So I'm going to put this back in. And we go to sounds. Let's use no tone. So it's going to play it for 1 second, turn off, and it has to be pin 6, where it says, what do you want to turn off? Pin number 6. And let's leave it off for how long? Let's see. Let's say 1 second. That's fine. And then do the same thing. Okay. So then play 440 for 1 second. Turn it off for 1 second. Okay. It's getting a little crazy. Then we play G, which is 392, for 1 second. Turn it off. And wait for 1 second. There we go. Let's try this out. Oh, it's not turning off because look, I forgot to change this to pin 6. I made a mistake. Let's upload. Now I think the waits are a little bit too long, so I'm gonna do half a second. The waits for the no tone are a little bit too long, I think. I'm gonna do half a second after the no tones instead of 1 second. So after the no tone. Close. So you might not, maybe you figured it out, but the tone is hot, cross, buns, hot, cross, buns. So it's a little bit slow. Maybe I can go faster, but we can adjust the seconds here, right? The weights to make it match up better. Okay, so that's there. Now, what if you wanted to put the lights to go with the gate here, okay? So I'm going to move this to the side so we turn off our music. So what if I just, let's say this, I want my gate to work like this. I want it to start out red, which is pin number 3, okay? And while it's red, I want to play music. So basically when the car's waiting there for the red light, it's just, you know, at least you can listen to music, right? And then let's make sure we put in the other pins to turn off. I know pin 4 is not connected, but just so that we don't get confused later. Let's say later we connect pin 4. The yellow light, I just want to make sure it's off. Duplicate. And then 5 is also off, okay? So in the beginning, it's just the red light, the yellow and green are off. Again, I know the yellow is not connected right now, but I just want to make sure that this is in there in case I connect the yellow later. And let's do the inline input thing, just so it saves room. Okay. Okay. So it's going to be off and it's going to do nothing. And let's say I'm going to have it wait for like, I don't know, let's say 5 seconds. Okay. And then once after the 5 seconds, oh, no. Sorry. It's going to play the music, right? So while the red light is on, it's going to play the music. And not wait 5 seconds. Let's say, let's say it plays the music one time. You can listen to that, to my hot cross buns. And then after it finishes that, it's gonna turn the red light off and the green light on. Let's do, so this is for the green light on. Red light 3 is off. And just for completeness, again, I know 4, the yellow is not connected for me, but I just want to make sure that's off too. Okay. And I think my motor is still connected, so I'll try this. Let's go ahead and open the gate too. I forget what it is. My gate right now, if this is 90 or what, or 180 is the close, I'm not sure. We will find out, I guess. Okay, and then let's wait here for, let's say 5 seconds. Okay, and then we'll close the gate. So my servo or my gate's on pin 9. Again, I don't know that if these angles are correct, but I'm just gonna guess and then I'll fix it if I need to. All right. I'm gonna guess that I think 90 should be open. Okay, because 90 degrees like this would be open, and then close would either be, to close it is either 0 or 180. I'll put 180 for now. Again, we can fix it if we need to. Okay, I'm gonna upload this and see what happens. Okay. Okay. So it looks like it's, so the gate's closing when it's, let's see, right now I have it. Okay, so from right now my gate's open when the red light's on. So for me, just the way that I have it connected right now, it seems like I need to flip it, right? So let me go back to my code here. Maybe this should be 180, right? And then this should be 90. Again, your angles may be different. It's really the way that you put on your, the way that you mounted your motor and the way that you put on your. Okay, let's check it out now. Okay, so with a red light, it's closed. And then the green light turns on and then it plays. But I wanted it so that the green light, let's see, maybe I made another mistake here. Let's see what's going on. Just making sure here, my red is connected to 5. So it looks like I got it, my numbers flipped, right? So this is looks like five is red. Okay. Sorry, guys. Again, I think it's always good for me to make mistakes so that you can see what's going on here. So 5 is red and green is 3. So let me go back here. This is what happens when you're not careful. But again, we're doing this together. Maybe you made the mistake along with me while you're doing your project here and following this video, or maybe you fixed it and did the right thing. Either way, let's go ahead and fix it. Okay. So 3 is red. Sorry, 3 is green, so it should be off. And then 5 is red, so this should be on. Okay. And then here, after we play the music, then we want to turn on the green light, which is 3. Okay, now let's upload. I have a feeling we need to fix the servo motor code too. Okay, so now it green. Okay, so the light and the music are good. When it's red, it plays my hot cross buns. When it's green, it doesn't play. But what's wrong? When it's red, this gate should be closed. Probably because I messed it up earlier, right? All right, so let's go back here. And let's change this back to what it was before. 9 to 90. And 9 to 180, okay? Okay, so this code is to turn it, open the gate, and then this code 180 to close the gate. Let's upload. Okay, cool. Now it's working. So the first time I just needed to kind of reset, but we're good now. Okay. So gates open, green light, no music. Gates closed, hot cross buns, red light. Cool. Okay, so it took a little time, and what's the benefit there? You got to see me real time mess it up and then fix it. Again, I think it'd be really cool. It's cool if you kind of fixed it while you were following me along and said, Mr. Ed, looks like you're doing something wrong. Or if you made the mistake with me and then you fixed it after alongside me, that works as well. So that's all we have for now. The thing I want to leave you with is that really this Bot Basics kit is for you to get introduced to robotics. So we learned about the computer board, motors, mechanics like this little cardboard craft, and then also using the lights and then also the code. Okay, now you don't have to just stop with this. Okay, so let me disconnect this so you can hear me. So some things that my students have done is you could take this apart. Okay, and imagine you at any point you can have 3 of these things working, right? You can have 4 of these things working. You can have 2 lights, a buzzer, and a motor, okay? Or you can have 3 lights and a motor, okay? You can make any different combination. But think of this. If you could use 2 lights, you can make 2 eyes for like a robot head, okay? They'd be different color eyes, but that's cool. So you have 2 eyes, and then you can use this motor to make a robot head that turns, okay? And then you can use the buzzer to make R2-D2 sounds, okay? So I've had students who have made this into a little cardboard robot. Or maybe let's say you want to use maybe just 1 light and then a motor. So 1 light, maybe it's a nose of like a reindeer. You can use the red nose for like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You can play Jingle Bells with your buzzer, and then the motor there is wagging the tail for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or maybe it's moving the head back and forth as it's playing Jingle Bells or whatever song that you want it to play. Okay, so I really want to just inspire you to do different things with this. And if you do make anything cool, make sure to share it with us at Barnabas Robotics. And that is it from now. If you have any other questions or ideas, feel free to leave comments or reach out on our website. We'd love to see what you all are doing. And take care.